Well, hello. It is your girl, Latanya Washington here, customer journey strategist, college professor, the owner of The Customer Culture, and I am a woman over 50. I am just like you. All it is I'm a different brand. And so today, I want you all to get relaxed. I want you to sit back, but I want to make sure that you have your journals, your notepads, your ink pens, your paper, your markers, whatever it is you need to jot down some notes because I'm going to jog your memory in the process of it all as we begin to talk about how to make a pivotal change and find fulfillment over 50. Oh, yes. Many people say 50 is the new 30. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that 50 is the new 30. But we're going to move forward because each one of you has a story. And in the process, I'm going to share a bit of a story, and then we're going to move forward and talk about some things. And I am sure not only do I have a story, but you have a story too. You have a story that you may not have shared with anyone, but it is within that story that brought you forward with some skills. You have some experience. You have it all inside of you. Some of you have already let it out, some of you have not. But we're talking about how to make a pivotal change and find that fulfillment. Because many times what we begin to do is we will stay stuck right there, stuck right there. But we know there is something on the inside of us that is tugging at us. Come on, ladies, it's time to pivot. It's time to let go. It's time to reroute. All right. So let me say this to you. And I know many of you all have experienced this, but back in 2019, I would say that was one of the worst years of my life. Now, mind you, there have been other years that just wasn't looking cute. But when it came to finances in my life, it was 2019. Why do I remember that? Because I looked at my credit report. And so in 2019, let me share this with you. I had a company that I was a consultant for. They were a client of mine out of Orange County. And if you are familiar with Southern California, when I say Orange County, you already know what's going on. Money, 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 money. Now, I was a consultant for this company for years. I mean, at least, I would say at least 15 years. Now, as time we began to progress, I began to say, something's going on here. They were getting late on paying my invoices. I said something's not right. All of a sudden, you all know what happened? They went bankrupt. In them going bankrupt and me throwing all my eggs in one basket, what you think happened to me? I went financially bankrupt, and now what? I had to pivot. I had to change some lanes. I had to do some things. That's what happens a lot of times when we become so comfortable right there. All right. So, in that process, you all, 2019, one of the worst years of my life, my sister came to me one day and she said, "You know what? Why don't you go back to school?" I'm saying, "Go back to school? I'm too old to go back to school." But I began to think back and I said, "You know what? My mother went back to school in her 50s. I made a decision, you all, to go back to school." So here it is, this woman, me, going back to school in her 50s, something I thought I'd never do. But when I got into that classroom, what you think I saw? I saw a classroom of other women looking just like me, same age as me, some in their 60s and some in their 70s. But guess what they said? They all said the same thing. They said, I wanted something different and desired a change from the same thing I've been doing for years. That sound familiar? They wanted something different. They desired a change. None of that was by accident that they desired a change. So they were saying that they felt a change from something or for something more. It was something on the inside of them that kept tugging at them. But it wasn't just something, it was that inner spirit within that says, okay, I know there's more. There's more for you to do. So remember, this body is made up of body, soul, and spirit. We all have a spirit on the inside of us. It's that thing that'll start tugging at you, saying, okay, yeah, I know there's more for you to do. That's what's happening with many of us here now, on today. And so that's what they were saying. They said, I knew there's something more. It's something more from the mundane, me going to work, as a business professional, going to work, working that 9 to 5, doing what it is that I do. Nothing is wrong with that. But do you know how many people are working jobs or in professions that they really don't want to be in? Many people are in professions that they really do not want to be in, went to school for it, and still not happy. So there's still going to be something that's going to tug at you. The question is, what are you going to do about it? So in that time, I want you all to begin to think about these things, because in it, I always say, we talk about the word called disease. What is disease? Disease is something that many times hits our body that disrupts the norm that's going on. That's a disease. And what the body begins to do, it tries to fight it off. It gets the white blood cells begin to try to fight off that disease. But you know what I call it as well? Mentally, I call it a dis-ease. Dis-ease. There's something that happens in pivotal moments when we turn certain ages that says it's time to change lanes. It's a disease that begins to occur. So in my time, as I begin to look at some things, you guys, I said, what is that one word that we have to have in order to move forward in life? That one word is courage. Not only courage to pivot, not only courage to change those lanes, not only courage to reroute, but the courage to say, okay, mentally, I'm going to make some changes here. And so I went back and I looked up the definition of courage, you all, and I want to share with you that definition. You all right? Get them notes and notepads, and I told you, come on, let's do this. I went back and I said, what is the definition of courage? You are ready for this? The definition of courage, you all, is the ability to do something that frightens you. That's what it is, because it will get very scary. You notice anytime change begins to happen and we know we're supposed to step out the boat, get out the boat. We know we're supposed to step outside the boat. It gets real scary because guess what? Our brain wants to keep us comfortable. That's exactly what it is. It's designed to keep you away from harm. It's designed to keep you comfortable. But it's the people that are willing to step outside the boat and have the courage, because you already got the ability to do something that frightens you. You just got to make that step. You just got to pivot. You just got to change lanes. And it could be a small changing of a lane. It may not require a lot. For some people, it could be small. Some people, it could be like me. I went back to school. I still got a story about that, me going back to school. Okay. And so in that, you guys, we have to begin to look at things. And so now I want you to write these things down, because in your life came experiences. In your life, you develop these skills. It didn't happen by accident. Okay. So I want you to all to think about these things and get this notepad out. Get your notepad out, because I want you to write these things down. I want you to think about these things. I want you to think about, as I say this, write this down. Think about, what is there in life that I already know how to do, but I put it on the back burner because I had to work that job that I really didn't want to be in. What is that thing? What is that thing that you know you put on the back burner that you know you really wanted to do in life? Write it out. Okay? We'll give you some time. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to look at, in your years of growth, What skills did you pick up? Did you pick up organizational skills? Did you pick up creativity skills, learning how to build things, knowing how to put together events, knowing how to bring people together, knowing how to lead? What skills in your life up into this point did you pick up? All right. Next thing I want you to look at, what level of expertise do you have to help other people solve problems? Did you go to school for something? Did you go to workshops? What level of expertise did you really read? Did you study? So what level of expertise did you pick up to help other people solve problems? Come on now. Now we are about to get into purpose, okay? All of that. And then I want you to think about, do I want to change careers in corporate America? Or do I want to step into business ownership? All those levels. I want you to begin to think about this. Now, here's the key. If you find yourself having any type of difficulty figuring those things out, I want you to ask some friends or family members and say, when you think of me, what do you see? I remember that from Denzel Washington. He says, when you look at me, what do you see? That's real. Okay. So if you find it difficult, ask people, because at the end of the day, their perception of you is your brand. All right. We're talking about how to make a pivotal change and find fulfillment. We're not going to be in our 50s, you all, and be unhappy. That's not going to happen. All right. So now I also want you to think about what's on your bucket list. What are those things that you know that you put once again on the back burner because you had all of these things going on before you hit your 50s that you never did? All right. And then what is it that you know you want to accomplish in your life that you have not done or you just have stepped in? I told you to pull out that journal, pull out that notebook, pull out them ink pens and them pens, because we're writing stuff down. All right. So now I want us to look at, because I know you need some time to work on all of that. Now I want us to look at getting smart. If any of you all know this word, we call it SMART. It's just the acronym for these words: being specific, letting things be measurable, attainable, relevant or relatable, and then time bound. So here we go with the work. Remember, we're talking about finding fulfillment in our pivotal changes. So when we talk about being specific, you all, I want you all to think about, we just said it. You wrote these things down. Being specific. Here we go. Think about, how do I already, or what do I already have? What skills do I already have? What level of expertise do I have that I literally love doing? Okay, write it down. What level of expertise do I already have? What skills do I already have? You should have already written over there, but I just wanted to repeat because now we're getting very specific. All right? Now let's get measurable. Let's measure this thing, because we look at measurements in you measuring your progress. All right? So this is what we're going to do as we begin to strategize. We're writing things down. Now we're looking at measuring our progress. Okay, I might need to do this. I need to do that. Now, I don't care if you stepped across the road. Well, that's progress. All right. I don't care if they were little steps. Many times things happen because of little steps. I want you to write those things down. Measure your progress. You got to cross the curb. All right. But measure your progress. I know we're laughing about it, and having fun, but I want you to begin to do those things as you begin to go through life. All right. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to look at things being achievable. We're talking about SMART goals. Achievable. Do I have the skills needed in order to achieve my goal? All right. Do I need to attain some resources? So we're looking at what's achievable. Do I have the skills? Do I have the resources? Because if I don't, and this is my goal, where I'm going for, what I'm going after, now we got to go back and we got to get those things. All right. But the only way in which we're really, really going to be able to move and to pivot and to change lanes, you all, we got to look at these things. My pivot moment came when I went back to school. My pivot moment came when I went back to school, and what happened? Me going back to school, you all, caused chairs and deans of departments to see me. And then I was asked to become a professor. All right. But it came from years of already running a business and going back to school. I was in the right place at the right time. You have to put yourself in the right place at the right time. Things do happen. Things do occur when we do what we need to do, and doors will begin to open. I want to encourage you. All right. So the next thing is, you all, in our SMART goals, we're looking at being relevant. Being relevant. Ask yourself, why are these results important not only to me, but necessary for other people? Okay. That's being relevant, because now we have to be relevant in the marketplace too. Because there's one thing when we're connecting to people, because we are bombarded with information on a daily basis. So what is it that you bring to the table that stays or is relevant to other people? And then we put a timestamp to it, you all. It has to be time bound, because we have to measure things, because we cannot say, I'm going to reach this goal, and we don't start doing increments, or what we call KPIs, key performance indicators. So now we have to put some time. We got to put a time frame in here to accomplish this goal. I don't care if it's 3 months. I don't care if it's 6 months. I don't care if it's a year. But we're writing all of these things out. We're writing the process. Measurable. We're looking at the process. We're looking at all of these things to get to where I need to be, to attain and get to my goal. Because let me tell you all this. It's funny. It's a funny thing about purpose. Purpose, literally, if you are willing to do the work and you are willing to step out, you're willing to pivot, you're willing to have the courage, the ability to do something that may frighten you, because that's what it is. It's amazing how purpose finds you. Next thing you know, you are purposeful, you're walking in your purpose, and here it is. Now you find a level of fulfillment. There's also a difference between happiness, and being joyful. Happiness, you all, can be very, very fleeting. It can be fleeting. But joy is that thing, that passion that stays on the inside of you, that just keeps you going. You wake up. I want you all to think about it. You wake up thinking about stuff. That's the joy that comes your way. And so there's a song that was written by Quincy Jones, and I always look at it, and many of you may have heard it. And I had to write these words down, and it says, you all, everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everyone will change. No one stays the same. It says the young become old, and mysteries do unfold. Because that's the way of time. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. I wanted to leave you with those words, because everything's about seasons. And you in your 50s, you have to be okay with changing lanes so you are fulfilled for the remainder of your life. It is time to find that thing that brings you joy, not only happiness, but that thing that brings you peace and it brings you joy. Now, all of these things, you all, they do not happen overnight, because Rome was not made in a day. So I want you, in the process of everything that you're writing down, everything that you're doing, give yourself time. Be patient with it. All right? Because once again, Not in a million years did I think that I would end up going back to school. Now, do you think me going back to school took a day? Nope, 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 nope. It took years. And then I had to graduate. And then I was offered a position. That was me rerouting my life. And so be intentional on everything that you do and be strategic in what it is that you're looking to accomplish, because that is the one thing that we have a tendency not to pay attention to. And that thing as well is called strategy. So I am glad that I was able to talk to you all in regards to finding and making that pivotal change and finding that fulfillment in your 50s. I am Latanya Washington, you all. And for you all that want more information or you are curious about strategy and tactics and making those changes and looking at all these things, brand strategy, I'm sending a link to you all that you can watch a video. Once again, you're going to want to take notes in the process. All right. I can be found on all the platforms, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook at Latanya Washington. I'm on X, or what we call Twitter, at Latanya Teaches. If you ever feel you need to reach out to me with questions or concerns, my email address is ask@latanyawashington.com. Send me an email or simply go to my website at latanyawashington.com. Remember, you are the brand. You the bad chick. All right? And there is no one like you. Okay? Until next time, you all, be well and just simply pivot. It's your season. Take care.